Do you ever worry that the amount of processed food that you consume may not be good for you and your family? Much of the modern industrial food systems are working to make big corporations a ton of money, and sometimes at the expense of your health. Hi, I'm Billy Sutton.
And I'm Lacey Sutton, your local real estate agent and your host for Explore My Town.
Today, we want to introduce you to someone who has been working hard to educate our community on how to make healthy and sustainable food choices.
So welcome to downtown Chestertown. Today, we're going to learn how to eat like a human.
Hi, I'm here today with author, archaeologist, chef, TV star, Dr. Bill Schindler, and his incredible wife, Christina, who is CEO right here at Modern Stone Age Kitchen. Will you talk with us about your journey with food and how you've learned so much about nutrition and food preparation and how it impacts our bodies?
You know, it all started because I wanted to learn how to feed myself and be healthy, and more importantly, when Christine and I first got married, and then we started to have our own family to feed and nourish, you know, the people that we love. Our journey with food is unique, and our approach to food because of that journey is unique. It starts with looking at the archaeological record, our ancestral dietary past. It's been, you know, sort of fortified and supplemented by our family traveling the world and living and working with indigenous and traditional groups and learning how they feed themselves. And then more recently with trying to learn how to put that into practice in our home and then here at the Modern Stone Age Kitchen to help nourish the community.
So can you tell me a little bit more about how that has impacted your family and what changes you've made?
Yeah, absolutely. It's actually had a huge impact on our family. So we've got 3 kids. They're all 2 years apart. They are now 19, 17, and 15. And then when you kind of put food on top of it, it has been very eye-opening, and everything from sporting events, what's the after-game snack, to they're going to friends' houses and what are they eating, what are they bringing for lunch. It's been difficult to different extents for us, but I think what's really important is we focus on food that people eat every day.
So as a result of all the things that you've learned, you guys have created some pretty amazing resources for to kind of take folks along on the journey with you. Can you tell us a little bit about the restaurant, your book, and anything else that you offer that you would use as a tool to help educate the public?
So the book is a culmination of everything we learned in trying to feed our own family, right? So, you know, over almost 20 years now at this point of us trying to figure out how to make this work in our own home. We've learned a ton. We certainly don't have all the answers. I think we have a bunch of good answers and a bunch of good solutions and techniques and approaches, and we're asking some really good questions, but we've really got to the point where, yeah, this is working really well. We have full-time jobs, we have a life, we have kids at soccer practice, and still can make this work in a home. We wanted to share it with everyone, as many people as we could.
So the book called Eat Like a Human then is 9 chapters, and it takes you through different kind of categories of food. So it's not just anthropological archaeology.
It's relatable.
It absolutely is, and especially when our kids are very prevalent in the business and they're here working all the time, so when you know their names and their faces, it's pretty cool then to be able to hear the stories about when they were drinking blood and milk with the Samburu in Kenya. So what's really crazy about how the Modern Stone Age Kitchen started, we have always kind of dreamed about, you know, having a restaurant. We met in a restaurant in Princeton. He cooks for everything, every event, and people would come and like, oh, you need to open a restaurant, you need to, and it just wasn't in our future plans, being in education, and then COVID hit. And Bill was at Washington College, and he was the director of the Eastern Shore Food Lab, which is now our nonprofit. So we had this space downstairs, and we saw the Social Action Committee in Chestertown was doing amazing things and giving out food to people in need. And he's like, well, we can make sourdough bread and replace the white bread with sourdough bread. So our oldest daughter, Brianna, she was 16 at the time, would come up with you at the food lab and make between 80 and 100 loaves of sourdough bread a week. And would give it to the Social Action Committee through a donation, and she really took a liking to it. She came home one night and she's like, I think I can make a business of this. So literally built overnight, risebybrianna.com website, put together 3 samples, and it was Easter weekend of 2020, so April of 2020. She gave out samples of focaccia, sourdough bread, and crackers.
That's right.
and it
Incredible.
literally just grew organically through the community. Through Facebook was a huge piece.
So when Brianna started the business, we were operating completely out of our house, and the cottage industry laws were such that there was only a limited amount of food we could legally make. And out of those options, the only food that was in line with our message and our mission was sourdough bread.
So when we talk about the modern Stone Age kitchen, we have a couple unique criteria. So one of the main things is that all our grains are fermented. So if we have anything down there, it's sourdough bread in terms of the grains. We don't use any industrial nut or seed oils. So we fry in high quality animal fats. When you try our potato chips, which are fermented potatoes to begin with, they're fried in animal fat. We also don't use any refined sugars. So we only sweeten with honey, maple syrup, or muscovado sugar.
We're so focused on the process. You know, what can we do to a raw material, raw ingredient to make it as safe and nourishing and delicious as possible that we make sure that we do everything in-house. So everything is made completely in-house, 100% from scratch. There's no two ingredients put together by anybody outside of these walls. And that process is, again, not only transforming the raw ingredient into something that looks and tastes good, but is safer and healthier and more nourishing than that raw material was.
So you mentioned the pizzas on Friday nights, and you mentioned Langenfelder pork. I know a pig can produce lots of different types of meat. Can you tell us about your hoagies that you make here and how that whole, I've heard rumors.
So, you know, our travels have taken us literally all over the world, and we've experienced so many amazing things with so many amazing people. There's a lot of wonderful things about that research that influences what we do today. But what we're doing here is taking real, incredible, traditional practices and transforming food that we're familiar with into the safest, most nourishing, and delicious versions possible. We make these crazy, awesome hoagies. They call it the whole hog hoagie. We bring in a whole pig from Langenfelder Farms just up the road, and we all in-house butchering, and we make all the meats from that one pig. We make more for an Italian sub. We make the mortadella, we make the capicola, we make the salami, and we make the ham. So we're supporting local farmers. We're experiencing that sense of terroir, that localness that you can only get right here. And we're connecting people as closely as possible with their food and their farmers and these amazing resources.
So you guys have literally been around the world and experienced lots of different, how did that come to be?
About, I don't know how many, it was 6-7 years ago when I was filming the show The Great Human Race for National Geographic.
Wow.
It literally came out of nowhere.
Crazy.
But when we were filming 10 different locations. We started in Tanzania, we went through Africa, through the Middle East, across Asia, and ended in Oregon. I was literally living these amazing different milestone time periods in our evolutionary past, from 2.5 million years ago to 4,000 years ago. And when I got home, the first thing I wanted to do was share it with my family, those experiences, and I realized we could learn so much and fill in gaps in the archaeological record by learning from people that were still adhering to some very, very ancient practices.
So folks changing their diet, that can be overwhelming to them, and it causes them to pause and they don't want to take the first step. How can folks take what you're doing here and implement that in their lives at home?
Well, there's a couple different ways. So downstairs in the Modern Stone Age kitchen, we have all sorts of everyday food made as nourishing as possible that people can come and eat in or take out, staples they can take back to their homes and cook with. But we also, we're incredibly passionate about empowering people to nourish themselves and their families in their own home. So we have the Eastern Shore Food Lab as our nonprofit, which is focused on research, teaching, and outreach. And we host a whole lot of classes to teach people to do these things in their own homes. I mean, this kitchen in here is set up, other than a huge countertop, it's just like somebody's kitchen would be at home, with the same kind of equipment, the same sizes.
So you guys also host some various types of events. Do you have anything upcoming on the calendar?
Well, my new favorite event, so through the Modern Stone Age kitchen, with a food focus, then we have a traditional Victorian dinner the first weekend in December, which is also Dickens weekend in Chestertown. So that is a
big weekend.
Yeah, it is a big weekend. Everything is out, and we can seat about 45 people down there, and it is a dress up, Victorian garb, traditional 6-course, really high-end dinner with paired cocktails with every single course, pig's head and all.
It's like you stepped back in time. It's very traditional.
We did it last year. It was
a lot of
kind
fun.
of at the tail end of COVID, and it was just so wonderful to have everybody out. And so we've got that on the books coming up in December.
And food is such a great way to communicate all sorts of information, and we love to be able to teach through food in a number of different ways. And we have really good contacts all over the world that we love to bring people here and create events around food and health and diet. So November 5th is a great example. We have having a meetup. Now, meetup, MEAT, It's focused on certainly high quality animal foods, but it doesn't stop there. We're going to have amazing food here on November 5th. We're bringing in Sally Norton, who's a plant oxalate expert, world-renowned plant oxalate experts, coming out with a book in December. So a bunch of people, and some people we paired with on the Western Shore, Bronson Nant and Natalie Grasso, who's coming, going to be able to answer all sorts of questions. So if you want to surround yourself with like-minded people, community, health, great food, those kind of events are coming up as well.
So where can people find you? Social media? Where's the best place to connect with you?
So the Modern Stone Age Kitchen, we have a website, modernstoneagekitchen.com. You can also follow us at Modern Stone Age Kitchen. We're very active on Instagram and Facebook. And then for the Eastern Shore Food Lab, we house that, kind of all the education and research underneath the website, Eat Like a Human. Again, the name of the book, so eatlikeahuman.com, and then all more of the educational content, social media comes out with at Dr. Bill Schindler. And then the thing that's really important for us is we actually send out a weekly email every Monday at 4 o'clock.
She spends all weekend writing this. It's full of information.
It's got all our podcasts, because he's on a bunch of podcasts. So it's got all the podcasts in there, events that are coming out, our special pizzas for the week. We always write an educational piece. This week we talked about our flour and how we use the special cloud flour for our pizza. So it's educational as well as an informational email that comes out every Monday.
Sounds like a wealth of knowledge and information in there.
Thank you. We're trying to spread the word.
Bill and Christina have taught us so much about food preparation and healthy eating in just a short amount of time we've been with them today.
So let's join the movement and take the steps to clean up our diet and preserve our physical health. So it can feel overwhelming to make these changes.
But with the support that this team provides to help you get going, you'll have everything that you need to succeed. As someone who serves their community, we realize it's vital to support our local businesses. And that's why we've partnered with Explore My Town to do just that. Spread awareness and support our local businesses.
Won't you join us? If you'd like us to feature your business, send us a message. I'd love to chat. Also, as local real estate agents, we are also a small business.
If you happen to know anybody that might need our services, please feel free to send them our way.